Welcome back, everybody. It's your girl, Catchcha Fyah, and Kev is still here. Charlemagne was kind enough to lend me his seat. Yes.
Yeah, you're in the shotgun. You're in the pilot seat.
I'm in the pilot seat. Yes. Well, with us is the lovely Hazel. Welcome to 100 Proof Show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and I heard you're a jack of all trades, basically.
Yes, I am.
Yes, you're writing a book. You're a mommy, management, all that good stuff.
Artist, promoter. Yeah, the whole nine.
Okay, so introduce us to Hazel,
Wow. Hazel's a female alpha, first and foremost.
Female alpha?
Yes, sir.
Well, what does that mean?
You don't know what a female alpha is?
I'm saying, I just want to know, I want you to say it. Why you gotta look at me like that for?
Because I'm asking you if, that's kind of simple. If you know it's an alpha.
She's a female version.
Right, I'm the female version. So basically.
Okay.
And like she said, I'm a jack of all trades. I do it all. You know, I'm not a follower. I'm a leader. So I'm always like the leading pack. You know, I'm always like got the people behind me and following me. Like, and I mean that in the most humblest way. You know,
of course.
I always try to put people on. You know, whatever I got going on. Whether it's working in a club or throwing a party or throwing an event or having charity stuff or, you know, feeding the homeless or whatever the case may be, I'm always bringing people along to better themselves.
That's
you know,
good you said I'm
things.
feeding the homeless, because most people, when they say like jack of all trades or go-getter, their mindset is mostly about making the money.
Right.
So at least you do some charity work on the side as well with that.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mentioned what is that? When you said female alpha, you don't really hear that. You might hear alpha male, but you never really hear female alpha. That's why I wanted you to actually break that down. What do you mean by female alpha?
Like I kind of broke it down a little bit. Like I'm just the leading pack. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't follow the wave. I am the wave. You know. So it's like a lot of like right now society is. This person that is so big is doing this and they wearing this and I want to do that and I want to wear this and I want to follow that and I want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to follow their lead. I want to do what they got going on. No, while y'all all going this way, Hazel's going this way. And when Hazel's going this way, she's going to bring the people that's lost and confused with their life or with whatever they got going on. And I'm going to help you and I'm going to guide you and I'm going to get you to the bag and I'm going to get you to the positive stuff. You know, so, you know, that's what I mean by female alpha. Like, I'm not just your typical girl. I'm not the...
So Hazel is the clout. You're not chasing nobody's clout. Like, you are the clout.
Right.
So people who are looking for something to do, they can gladly follow behind you because you're not over here like, oh, I know stuff, I'm not going to share it.
Right. I'm not a selfish person at all. Like, okay. I'm very giving. You know, I love to see people win, especially women. You know, I also look out for my dudes, but with women, a lot of women don't support one another. A lot of women is jealous of one another. A lot of women don't want to see the next woman succeed or get better in life or, you know, girl, like, you know, giving you the advice or, you know, showing you your worth. And it's just, I'm that girl, you know, and I have a lot of females that will tell you, like, Hazel put me in a position where I could make money. Hazel put me in a position where I thought I couldn't model because I didn't have the looks, but boom, she got me modeling. Hazel, you know, put me to work. You know, Hazel got, you know, that's me. And I've always been that girl since young. You know, as far as I can remember, I've always been that girl to help. And, you know, let's blossom together. Let's get it together. Let's get to this bag. You know, and when it comes to my men, I'm always connecting dots. You know, that's on my Instagram. That's my bio. Like, I connect dots. You know, whatever I could possibly do to help another person, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try my best to get it done.
You know, you mentioned how many females don't stick together.
Right.
And that's why for a while, I felt like I don't know if the world is actually ready for a president that is a woman.
The world or just the U.S.? Because there have been female prime ministers.
Yes. Yeah, female prime ministers in a lot of places, but for U.S., because really if America sneezes, the whole world catches the flu.
Ooh.
So when I would look at, let's say, the music business, when we think about, let's say, women as artists, they only talk about two women.
Who's that?
Oh, Beyonce
Cardi B, and as far as hip hop, Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. Like that's the only two.
That's just 2018, so we can't.
Understood. Now this is where I'm going. So I would say to myself, okay, because of course back in the days you had like a whole slew of them out there. So it's like we're only talking about just two, and I'm like,
there's more.
Okay,
that's
why
out
don't
there.
you go and look at the other women. I'll even look at my friends that play in the WNBA. Shout out to Essence Carson, Preppy. She actually won with the LA team. She won. And it is what it is. In WNBA, the stadium is not that packed.
I've never been, I'm sorry to say, I've never been to a women's basketball game.
Me neither.
Now, you see, but most women will go to men's sports team.
Right.
So I was like, is the world really ready for that? Because if women are not supporting other women like that, is the world really ready for a woman president to be president in America? That's why it just
wow, that's something to think about.
You said that.
That's
you know what? As like I said, everyone probably won't agree with me, but I voted for Hillary. I honestly voted because first off, she's a smart woman, you know, and I think Bill Clinton was a great president. You know, he wasn't the best, but he did pretty good, and I think that she learned a lot, even before Bill. You know, I think she knows a lot, and she's just like for the people. She's for the minority. You know,
and when she was senator, she did a great job too. So
now I will say this because one of my sisters was very big on that too. And I would ask her the top questions. What's her policies? And it seems like, well, it's time for a woman to be in office. But okay, what's her policies? So it's like, if you don't know their policies to know whether or not it's good or bad for you, why should we vote for them? I even feel the same way about people say, oh, let's get this black person in office. Okay, I don't know his policies. So I'm not going to vote for him. Because when I found out by Hillary Clinton, how she goes back to getting you and you sterilized.
Yeah.
She was down with Margaret Sanger. And Margaret Sanger was down with Henry Kissinger. That sterilized people like Fannie Lou Hamer. That's why there's a school in the Bronx, Fannie Lou Hamer. That's actually from a woman that went to court and went all the way because the government was trying to sterilize women. So I'm like, if you down with those people, I ain't rocking with you. Now, I'm not saying Hillary Clinton goes out and sterilizes people. Right. But that's who she's rolling with. So I realized let me just pump my brakes before I let my emotions.
Right, before you jump out the window. Right.
Yeah, let me go find out who you are first.
Okay, so like Hillary Clinton, Hazel, you're trying to change the world, tell your story. So let us know about the book that you're in the process of writing.
Interesting.
Well, with that being said, I'm not trying to change the world because
change the world by telling your story.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I am trying to spark a brain. You know, just like Tupac said, I'm trying to spark a brain, you know, of maybe a few brains that have just changed their way of thinking and changed their lifestyle of what they thinking is okay when it's actually not. So with that being said, my book is called Abuse is Cool. And
why that title?
Strong title.
Very, I know.
Why?
So when I was younger, I used to get abused by my brother, right? And when I say abused, I mean physically, you know, like he used to put hands on me. And most of the time it was whenever he wasn't feeling uppy, like whenever his day wasn't going right, or, you know, he lost a dice game. He used to be in the streets back then, or, you know, him and his girlfriend would go through it or whatever the case may be. I would get the backlash.
Okay.
You know, so, you know, he used to put hands on me, and I used to go to school consistently lying to my teacher and hiding in, and she used to ask me a lot of questions like, how did you get this and how did you get that? And, you know, she'll send me to the nurse office. You know, typical teacher, what they supposed to do, send you to the nurse office, and, you know, the nurse question you, and I used to be like, I was playing with this one, or I was doing this and I was doing that, you know. And
did they think it was your
parents?
They obviously thought it was someone in my household. You know, they thought it was someone, but I was just lying about it, you know. So I was sugarcoated so well, like I was almost like a slash tomboy the way how I am now. You know, you see the way how I talk, the way how I carry myself. I'm a female, but I'm a slash tomboy. So it was the same way.
Can't really.
I gotta keep on cool.
It was the same way when I was younger. You know, I was the same. And fast forwarding as I got older, you know, I started realizing that wasn't the way it was supposed to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, my brother should have not put hands on me, and I didn't have my father there the way how he was supposed to be there. You know, like he wasn't that daddy that I needed at the time. My father owned a club. I have an older brother who owned a club as well. You know, they was doing their stuff back in the days, and, you know, they was in that fast lane. So they wasn't really there. My mom was a bartender, you know, and she was doing her own thing, and she, you know, she wasn't taught right from wrong from her mother. So it was just like a whole cycle thing going on.
Okay, so basically you guys were left to just, you know, take care of each other.
I had to learn right from wrong by myself. I had to learn about the birds and the bees by myself, you know, and I had to figure stuff out for myself. You know, at the age of 12, I started dating a man that was about 27 years old. And, you know, it was just like I learned everything as I went. And, you know, becoming the woman that I am now, I'm 30 years old. It took me to at least the age of, I could say maybe about a couple of months ago for, like, my partner to realize, like, with my partner's like, wait a minute, I'm not doing this no more, you know, because from then to now, I was still getting hands put on from guys I was dating.
Was it the same person from 12 years old?
No.
How did that relationship, I want you to talk a little bit more about that, because you see what we're facing today with the Me Too movement, and you know everyone's concerned about mental health and all that stuff. Santoya, she was sentenced to prison for defending herself against her pimp, who was like in his 30s. She was 15, and she killed him. So it's like,
I think it was a client.
He was a client.
Yeah, that she was servicing.
Right. Yeah, so explain that relationship to us a little bit more.
Well, I was young. And like I said, I didn't know no better, you know.
Looking back, do you think at 12 years old you believed yourself to understand the decision that you were making?
Absolutely not. You know, I was young. You know, I thought I was making the right decision. I thought I was making the right choices. And, you know, this man used to spoil me, you know, and at the age of 12, he was teaching me how to drive. He had an apartment. So it was like I was spoiled, you know, and it was just like open, like I didn't have to work.
Right.
I didn't have to.
It's like he was a parent you needed.
Right.
Okay.
So that's almost how the book is going, because I was dealing with abandonment issues, you know, with my father. So I was always looking for that father figure in the man, in a partner, you know, and he was one of those. Like he was just one of the father figures.
Two-part question for you.
Right.
I noticed, or do you feel that what is your background today?
What is my what?
Your background.
What do you mean by that?
Like American?
I'm Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican.
Born and raised in New York?
I was born and raised in Spanish Harlem.
Okay.
Yeah, she's Puerto Rican. Shout out to Pleasant Ave. Now, I noticed in Hispanic cultures that the families will allow their daughters to date men way older.
I mean, that's just a given. I think that's with any culture, you know. Like, I know a lot of people that...
And be okay with it.
Right.
So I wonder, like, wow, it's a big age gap.
Right.
Very big age gap. And they feel like as long as you go and take care of her, then it seemed like they allowed it. They was okay with it, whether father is there or father's not there or father is there. I wonder, like, okay.
Well, between my mom and my dad, there was a big age gap. My dad is 13 years older than my mother.
Wow. But they didn't know about this guy?
Well, my father didn't know about it in the beginning because, once again, my father came in and out. You know, like he was just in and out. My mom knew about it. She didn't know his age. I want to say at least I was 14 years old, which is still like, that's only a 2-year difference. Like, all right, he's still older, you know, but at that time, you couldn't put a stop to it because I was already talking to this man 2 years ago, and you ain't saying nothing then, so why you saying something now?
You already got your freedom.
Right, and it was just like, I was just that young adult. You know, I was just that young girl just growing so fast and, you know, like just fitting the shoes, and whatever came my way, I was taking it.
So even though he took care of you, did you experience abuse in that relationship?
That's a good question. Like, physically, the man didn't abuse me. That man. He didn't put hands on me and whatnot. But mentally, he did. Mentally, he did. Financially, he did. You know, because once again, I was a young girl. He was giving me money. He was taking care of me. You know, like, I should have been in school a lot of times. And anytime I didn't want to go to school, and I'd be like, I just don't want to. He'd be like, all right, lay down. Go ahead, you good. I'm going to give you money. Like, don't worry about it. You know, so it was like.
So is that abuse or that's spoiling it?
It is abuse as well because you a grown man. You know right from wrong. You know what I'm saying? So he was spoiling me financially. But like this is something I learned recently. It's a thing called financial abuse, right? Financial abuse is when someone, this is a part of it. Someone could be taking care of you. You could be going through whatever you're going through, and now they withhold anything they was doing for you. You know what I'm saying? So now you dependent on this person. I need you for my pads. I need you for my cosmetics. I need you for all of this stuff. And now that me and you was going through it, it's like you take that all away.
Okay.
And now I'm stuck, you know, trying to figure out, oh my God, how I'm gonna get my cosmetics, how I'm gonna do this, how I'm gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's financial abuse. Like, you abusing me, you know?
Right.
I could have got up at the age of 14 and went and got a summer youth job, but being that you told me you was gonna take care of me and do everything that you were supposed to do as a man, I confided in you. So that's a part of all of that. And I'm learning that as I go, you know.
I was sorry to cut you off, but growing up, I remember junior high school, went to Sousa, John Philip Sousa in the Bronx. I remember being in class with a girl and she would actually try and like hot side on me and show up and like, you know, I liked her. She wasn't liking me at the time. She should have, because, you know, I'm Kev Lawrence. She her mind not to like me, you know what I'm saying?
You all right.
Okay, Kev.
You wildin'. I'm spectacular. Spectacular. So she was like, you know, what you got? And I'm like, what do you mean what I got? I got a pencil. I got a pen.
A number 2 pencil.
Right.
I got a regular pencil. I got a number 2.
Boyfriend was driving. I'm like, yo, how old is your boyfriend? I'm like, yo.
Wait, this is junior high school?
This is junior high school. I'm like, yo.
Wow.
Junior high school, I was driving
I could
too.
steal my father's car, but I know a belt comes with that. You know what I mean? But I'm like, yo, how old is your boyfriend? My boyfriend is 27.
Whoa.
So I'm like, how'd you meet him? Oh, he's up in the club and so and so. So I'm like, wait a minute. How'd you get in the club? So it's funny, but not really funny, because I found out later on, this is why I have a situation with some people when they talk about people like R. Kelly and other people. How'd you meet him? My sister took me to the club. My sister gave me her ID. My cousin gave me her ID. So now you're in a club as a minor amongst men. That, I mean, people go to clubs for what? To get a dance and to get some cheeks out there. It's what it is.
I'm done.
So
well, that's
somebody
how I
facilitates.
That's not exactly.
That's a typical man. That's a typical man for you. You understand? That's what men think about.
First of all, women go to the club to shake some ass and
have a good time.
Have a good time, call it a night, go home exhausted.
But hold on, let me get back to it. But I said to myself, okay, so who's really the bad person? The man or the person that helped facilitate you to get there?
Well, the man is definitely still a bad person.
You see, you ran faster than the man. Wait.
No, if you look at the whole...
The man, no.
Yeah, he's still a bad person, but everyone has a role to play. No, yes, the sister and the cousin...
If you are not of age, you don't need to be there, because now...
But if it wasn't her, that man would be targeting someone else younger.
No, we're
so
talking about in a club setting.
No.
Because now the man, let's say the man is having sex with you. Not you personally, but the girl. Hold on, the man's having sex. And then if the man finds later on that you're 14. But I like how it feels.
So you're not going to stop even though you find out later on? R. Kelly, really?
Not everybody just stop like that. So now that, let's say the parent finds out, I'm sending you to jail for statutory rape. But I met her in a club, in an adult setting.
That's what's happening in the 6ix9ine,
I like her, but it's really statutory rape. So who's at fault? The girl cousin that helped
I'm
facilitate
glad you said that. That's why I
there?
asked her, when looking back, did she feel like she was mature enough to make the decision she made? Because there are some teenagers, even though they're 14, 15, and 16, they are mature enough to make that decision to actually have sexual encounter with a man, no matter how old he is. But some of them are naive and they get manipulated. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, you know? People lie all the time, lie about their age, lie to get to where they need to go, and then the man gets...
Too many women I know will tell me I've been in the club, especially the old school women, like I've been in Latin Quarters, I've been everywhere at 14.
I was there at 12.
See, Hazel been chilling.
You know, let me tell you a story, right? So, Tess moved.
Look, he took his hat off.
Oh, no, put his name in this. Don't put his name in this. Shout out to you, Ted. I'm sorry. I'm trying to help you, Ted.
No, that's my homie. Like, Tess moved on me for a long time, but it's
straight face. You remember?
It's
just
a
quick
story.
Again, I can't.
I was clubbing at that age. I was in Latin Quarters. I'm not saying nothing bad. He's a great man. Like,
she's just telling the story. He's good. Okay.
Right? At the age of 12, you so silly. At the age of 12, I was actually clubbing, right? But he didn't know that, you know, and he was the most popping DJ, you know. I'm not saying that he's not popping now, but he was popping back then, you know. especially on the east side of Spanish Harlem, everybody knew Test Move. So, long story short, I was clubbing, 12, 13, the whole 9, Latin Quarters, Club New York, Pearls, the whole 9. So one time,
I was doing the homework at that time.
I bumped into Test Move in 110th Street, and I would never forget this. And it was before my 21st birthday. And I was throwing my party in the Sofa Lounge in the Bronx, right?
Wow.
So I was like, yo, Ted, you gonna come through for my birthday party? He was like, yeah, of course, I'm gonna show you love. He was like, how old you gonna be? I said, 21. He said, get the yo.
Okay, yeah, shout out to Test Move.
He was like, get the fuck out of here. No fucking way.
I was almost like this at one point. Don't look at me, don't look at me.
He was surprised, he was upset.
He was getting ready to kick your ass.
He was the whole night, like, who let you in the fucking club? And I'm like, oh shit. Like, I didn't expect that reaction. But it just shows you that. It just shows you that some men is not with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm more than sure, if he would have known that I was 12 years old in that club, he would security.
Right,
she needs to get the hell out of here.
exactly.
She do not belong here. You understand? Because I was drinking in the whole 9 yards.
Hey, oh my gosh,
So-
Hazel. Well, thank you so much for joining us, 100 Proof Show. Let the people know where they can find you if they want to learn more about your upcoming book and what else you have going on.
Yes, most certainly. Well, it's Hazel Lux. I'm Hazel Lux on everything, social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, the whole 9. I don't
Spell
be
it out.
about it.
So they don't.
HAZEL_LUX. It's Hazel Lux. Google me, bitches.
Great. Everybody, thanks for joining us.
I'm
It's
not
Catchcha
gonna curse
Fyah.
for you,
Kev,
Google
he
me,
put his
people.
hat back on.
I want you to
Stay tuned.
I
We'll
ain't
be
gonna
right
expect
back.
you to come follow me. Come on.
You're
Follow me.
silly.